Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're going to be covering HEX and the rest of the cryptocurrency market and the fact that the floor is lava. If you like this kind of hybrid quantitative and technical analysis, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Be subscribed by the end of the video if you aren't already, and let's go ahead and talk about the fact that the floor is lava. What do I mean by that? Well, obviously Richard Hart's tweet was a great visualization of that fact. And what is that fact? Well, most of cryptocurrencies have been red yesterday and today. Obviously, if you look at nomics.com, you see that Bitcoin, it actually wicked down to 30K. It's right back up to 40K. I believe Ethereum wicked down to $1,800. It's already up another $1,000. So Bitcoin's up almost 10K in a matter of hours. Ethereum's up almost 1K in a matter of hours. Wild times we live in, and the rest of crypto is mainly down, right? You just scroll and the only green you see is stable coins because people are, getting into their stable coins, and even HEX is down 10% today. However, if you look at the actual dips, right? I measured the dip of Bitcoin and it's down around 53% from global top to the local bottom today. Ethereum was down approximately 56%, but if you look at the dip on the HEX price, crazy enough, even though it's considered to be an altcoin by many and it's really just an ERC20 with less liquidity than Bitcoin and Ethereum, crazy enough, it's actually dumped only 41% from global top to local bottom today, which is very, very impressive in my opinion, again, given liquidity, given the fact that BTC and ETH are your blue chips, right? And the fact that, both Bitcoin and Ethereum are down 50+% from global top to local bottom, and HEX is only down 41%, which is common, right? We've seen 40% dips. Now, it's not to say we can't dip lower. If we did dip down similar levels, 50%, we'd be looking at 3 penny X. 55% or so. It takes all the way down to 3 penny HEX. But currently, this is where we are now. And I drew this bull flag because it could be valid if it continues to play out. This is a 4-hour time frame, so if you want to zoom out a little bit, you can. Here's a 6-hour, and you can see definitely some buy pressure. And if you want to get cheeky a little bit, you could even call this, a little bullish divergence on the RSI, right, compared to price. But it's too soon to tell. But what we will say is that our regression rainbow fractal that we were covering a while back is actually still intact. What exactly am I talking about? I'm talking about the fact that back here on this fractal, we saw oscillation around yellow before popping off. And haven't actually covered this one right here, but if you look at day 300 or so, we saw the same thing. And that was when we were forming our ascending triangle around the 0.004 region before popping off to a little above green. And so it seems that this yellow region has historically been consolidation before a bullish move. And if we take a look at, let's actually take a look at V1, just so we can get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. And so if you look at V1 and you look at where exactly this was, this right here, this oscillation around the yellow was around here, I believe. It was this region or so. Right? And we can take a look at actual dates, right? So April, pretty much April. Yeah, so it was really this region over here, more or less. This was our consolidation around the yellow before our move up. And then over here as well was consolidation around the yellow before a move up. And currently we reached the yellow. So my thesis here is that we could see some sort of consolidation. Just draw this a little better. Some consolidation around the yellow curve before moving up. And remember that the yellow curve is actually not a flat price, but it's actually moving up every single day. So could we see oscillation around the yellow before a further move up? Potentially, because we're still actually ahead of our previous speculative projection, where if you remember, I was saying, you know what, this fractal might be dropping one curve where we see consolidation around orange before moving up, but we actually blasted right through orange. So the fact that we stopped at yellow and consolidated around yellow, even though the majority of the market is bearish right now, this is actually a bullish sign, right? That we're consolidating around yellow again. And so what would that look like? Well, the yellow curve right now is around 6.6 pennies, and it moves up to around 8 or so pennies by mid-June. And oscillation around the yellow could mean volatility, right? Because here, obviously, we went, we had some volatility. If we look at exactly what price was doing back here, well, it was less volatile over here, if I'm being honest. Only like 10% volatility. Over here, similar, only like 10-15% volatility. And currently we are seeing a more volatile scenario. Could that be tied to the rest of crypto? Well, we do have certain HEX liquidity on Ethereum, right? Even though the majority of it is on USDC, there's actually this great website called apphex.win. If you, what was I gonna look at here? Oh my god, I completely blanked out. If you look at the amount of liquidity here you see on Uniswap pools, right? Where the liquidity actually is, you see that the majority of it is on V2 USDC and V3 USDC, whereas the ETH liquidity is only around 18%. And so how correlated is HEX to Ethereum moves? Well, it's kind of decoupled because of the fact that most of its liquidity is tied to the US dollar, to USDC. And there's this idea, right, that prices move together based on their liquidity bonds. So if you remember back in the day when you pretty much had to buy Bitcoin to get into Ethereum, their prices moved together for the most part, obviously with some fluctuations. Because if the only way to buy Ethereum was to buy Bitcoin at the time, then every time Bitcoin moved up, generally speaking, Ethereum moved up, unless there's some trading between the pairs ETH BTC, right? So similar here, where sure there is some liquidity tied to Ethereum, but for the most part it's not all of it. Most of it is in USDC, which means that theoretically HEX should perform well in a bear market, which leaves us with that whole the floor is lava, right? How will HEX perform in a bear market? In theory, it should perform really well, given what we've seen, how even on days where everything can be red, HEX can be up. I think that's a good sign, given the fact that while the entire market and your blue chip cryptocurrencies are dumping 50+% from global top to local bottom, HEX being a less liquid coin is actually dumping less. Again, I find that very bullish. We'll keep you updated with the market. One more thing I wanted to say was actually to go check out the community tab. Recently, I came across this tip, right? This piece of advice on how to keep growing on YouTube with less effort. Obviously, I'm going to keep banging out videos for you guys every single day. However, the community tab seems to be a little hacked. So if you guys could go vote on this and leave some comments, that would be great. I'm actually going to leave a comment on my own right here in a bit. I heard that helps the algorithm too. It's essentially using this community tab. I'm going to be using it more often so you can see polls, comments. I think you can upload pictures on here. So we'll see how that goes, right? So thank you again for getting me past 1,770 subscribers. I appreciate you watching. Let's get to 1,800 subscribers by this weekend. I know we can do it. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this kind of content. Again, I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.